Good morning.
Hi, good morning and good afternoon, and depending on what time zone you're in or what part of the world you're in. It's certainly morning somewhere, and it's certainly morning here. And I'm Bob Cooper with Elite Worldwide.
And I'm Doris Barnes with Elite Worldwide.
Yeah, and thanks so much for joining us. I know a lot of you guys and gals are our clients, and a lot of you are, who knows who you are. You're from different parts of the world, different parts of the country, and I presume that you're related to the industry. So the first thing I'd like to say most importantly, I'd like to say thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely. We thank you for giving your time to us this morning, and we hope you had a wonderful Memorial Day holiday. It was a very special weekend and a lot to be grateful for.
Yeah, I certainly agree with Doris. Weather wasn't that good here in San Diego. We actually had a little bit of an overcast, and that's as bad as it gets in San Diego, so it wasn't that good. But yeah, and we had clouds. What can I say? We were punished, but we get punished every now and then. But again, thanks so much. We know that your time is valuable, so thanks so much for joining us. So let's talk about our objective, what we're looking to accomplish today.
Yeah, our objective with all of you this morning is to be able to provide you with information that will enable you to, number one, improve employee morale. We certainly want to make sure we help you do that.
Yeah, there's no question about it. If you do employee reviews and if you do them the right way, then one of the things that's going to happen is the morale of the guys and gals that work with you is going to improve. That's going to lead to higher productivity and everything else. Oops, there it is. So one of the things we're going to do by that is we're going to help you increase your productivity. That's going to be a natural. Whenever morale starts to improve, productivity is just naturally going to improve.
And in doing great thorough reviews, which just comes down to effective communication with your staff, you're going to reduce employee turnover. Everybody's going to have clear expectations. They're going to know what's expected of them, and that's going to be absolutely key.
Yeah, there you go. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. And you know what all that's going to lead to? That's going to lead to a more profitable, successful business. There's no question about that. So that's what we're looking to accomplish. You know, why are we doing reviews? Why are we going to spend time with them? Because we know that they're going to help you in all of these different key areas. So for those of you that may be new to us, Doris, why don't we do a little bit of an introduction if we could?
Yeah, here at Elite, we are a company, as it says here, our company will never put money ahead of people in any situation. So this is a bit about our culture, a little peek behind the scenes of what matters most to us all here.
Yeah, it certainly is true. There's no question about it. And for those of you that are new to us, I'm Bob Cooper. I'm the president of the company. And Doris Barnes is actually our director of customer relations. And she's been with us for a number of years. And she does a lot of really great things with us. And if there's one thing that she understands, it's people. And if there's one thing that she understands, it's the business that we're in, the business of fixing automobiles and helping people with their automotive needs. So I know that you're going to enjoy what you learn from her today.
Thanks, Bob.
Oh, my pleasure, Doris. Of course, it's all my pleasure. And for those of you that don't know us, we are a company that works really hard at taking shop owners just like each and every one of you, I imagine, to the top. And we do this in the most professional and ethical and affordable way. So that's sort of our mantra. This is somewhat of a synopsis of who we are as an organization. So, Doris, why don't we do this? Why don't we give them some tips on what they could do to best benefit from what we're going to do here today?
And how to best benefit. Please keep an open mind. You know, we know you guys are going to hear some things that are going to be new. They're going to be a bit outside of the box from the way that you've been doing your reviews with employees. But I think you're going to really like what we share with you. So we just ask that you think on these things. If you have any questions post-webinar, you can always reach out to us in an email, so we can have further communication with you about it. But this is key to success, I think, for anybody. I'm sure you'll all agree with me on that. Please make sure you're not interrupted during this presentation, and that's just for your benefit so that you can get the most out of it and not miss anything important. And make a commitment to following through on what you learn. You know, I think there's certainly value to gaining more information. It makes us feel good to be going to courses and attending webinars like this. But it's really all about taking that information and then following through on it, applying it, giving it a shot, seeing how it works for you and your company. So we're going to ask that you do that and actually follow through on everything that you take away today.
Yeah, Doris brings up a really great point. That's one of the things that we've seen in the industry over the years. There's a lot of guys and gals, they go to seminars, they attend courses and webinars and events like this, and they leave and they say, wow, I got some really good ideas. And ideas are actually worthless. They really are, unless you follow through with application. So to Doris's point, don't just take this information and park it. Take this information as soon as you're done with this webinar, take what you've discovered, apply it to your business, and you're going to be really pleased with the results that you're going to get out of it. That's a promise that I'm going to be able to make to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well said.
Okay, so here we go. Huh, Doris?
Shop Owner's Guide to Employee Reviews. This is our topic today, everybody, and ready to get started.
Great. And one of the things that Doris and I knew in creating this the content for this, we knew that we have a limited amount of time. We knew that we only have 20, 25 minutes that we're able to spend with you, and we wanted to make sure that we're able to give you the best bang for the buck. So we had long conversations about, gee, with the subject as big as reviews, how can we best help you get from here to there? And the first conclusion that we came to is, let's start with the very beginning. Let's start by putting first things first with what we'll call the new hires. And regardless of where somebody is in a relationship with your company, whether they've been there for 1 day or 1,000 years, the fact of the matter is you always need to put first things first. With every single new hire, you need to make sure that they know when they come into your company how you're going to review them. During week 1, the first week that they're with you, we're going to encourage each and every one of you to review that employee at the end of the day. It doesn't need to be a long, formal review. We're not expecting to hear that. But what we are expecting you to do is sit down with that guy or gal and have a little bit of a conversation about how the day went. Ask them if they have any questions about what they've learned, and keep them motivated to get into the next day. So at the end of every day, you have to touch this employee, as we like to say, during week 1. It's something you absolutely have to do whenever you're bringing somebody aboard.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think one of the biggest mistakes we can make is, let's say you hire somebody to come in as a service advisor or technician. They're very well seasoned. They're very good at what they do. They've got a lot of experience in the industry, but they're maybe new to your company. So you feel that they've got the skill set to just plug and play, get to work and start producing for the company. Well, you might want to rethink that, and this is why we're really big. Take time with this new hire. Make sure that they feel acclimated and really start to feel comfortable with the way you communicate and the way that your staff communicates, and let them spend time with the people that are there and get to know your culture, you know, learning all the important things like the policies, the procedures, the mission statement of the company, et cetera, et cetera. So this is why we're really big on, you know, taking them through that courtship. Having regular daily reviews for week 1 will really be a great way to start off the relationship with your new hire.
Yeah, Doris certainly brings up, as always, she brings up a really great point here. And don't forget, when you bring this new guy or gal into your business, we don't care if it's an advisor, a manager, a technician. It doesn't matter what role he or she plays. The fact of the matter is, no matter how good they are at doing their job, everything else is new to them. The people that work with you is all new to them. Your culture is all new to them. Your system is all new to them. Your environment is all new to them. So you need to handhold them. You need to help them start to get acclimated to everything other than fixing cars or writing service. So this is why it's critically important, like Doris says, that at the end of the day, you need to touch them. You need to let them know that you care. You need to make sure that there's clarity in everything that's happening. It's a cardinal rule in employee development.
Absolutely.
Start off. So we're going to start. We got to make sure, guys and gals, that we always start off on the right foot. So week 1, daily reviews. Week 2 through 4, Doris.
Weekly reviews. So once you get beyond week 1, now we're talking about our first month that we have this new hire, and at the end of week 2 through 4, we should have a weekly. So just have a weekly sit down, ask them how everything's coming along, you know, what progress they're making and learning the new software or what have you, and everything that you've asked them to learn and do. And this is going to be a great way to just, you know, start to wean them off of the dailies, of course, but this is great communication. Month 1, you know, don't let this new hire just get right to work without doing these weekly reviews.
Yeah, pretty cool. Guys and gals, sort of like putting a little guy or gal on a bicycle with the training wheels and all. At first, you're going to be there every single moment. You're going to be right next to them every moment. And then after they start to feel a little bit more comfortable, then like Doris says, you need to let go a little bit more and give them a little bit more latitude. So what we're going to progress from is daily reviews to weekly reviews. Then we get into the next one, which is month 2 and 3. We're going to encourage all of you to have monthly reviews at this point. This means after the first month, you're going to review them every single month for the first 90 days. This should be your probationary period of time.
Yep.
It's up to you to make a decision as to what your probationary period of time is going to be. We're strongly going to encourage you to set it for 90 days. We have discovered, and then certainly a lot of you have discovered, a lot of times it takes 90 days to really understand who a person is, to really get a feel for who they are. And they might look great in the first 30 days. They might not look great. They might struggle a little bit in the first 30 days. So give them a chance to get acclimated. And we have found 90 days is a real good period. By the time 90 days is unwound, you're pretty much going to know who these guys and gals are. So month 2 through 3 is monthly reviews.
Absolutely, Bob. And next, our 4th rule is, well, every 6 months and 12 months. So every 6 months, you'll then move into semi-annual reviews. And many of you may have something like this currently, or some of you may only do annual reviews. We're going to say that more communication is better than less. And while this annual review may be the real big review, that 6-month review and touching base mid-year is going to be a really great way for your people to know, you know what, I'm on track. I'm doing things that need to be done for the company in my development and in everything that they're looking for from me as well. And so we're going to be really strong on making sure you do it every 6 months. Guys, it's just the right thing to do. It really, truly is. You know, don't leave your people hanging for a year to know where do they stand with the company and everything that you're looking for.
Yeah, well said, Doris. You got my vote on that one. So this is a schedule that we're going to recommend that each and every one of you consider using in your shops when it comes to reviews. So let's go on to the second rule, all right? One of the things you need to do is you always need to be very well prepared whenever you're doing a review. First things first, always make sure that client, always make sure that customer has a 10-day notice, at least a 10-day notice, anywhere from a week to 2 weeks, but ideally 10 business day notice is what you need to be able to provide them. This way, they have the chance to be prepared for the review. You don't want to walk up to an employee and say, oh, by the way, just wanted to remind you tomorrow you're scheduled for your review, and they go, what's that all about? So give them time to review. You're going to have to review or prepare. They're going to have to prepare as well. So always give them a head start on that.
Yeah, and let them know what you're going to need them to prepare for, which leads us into the next bullet point here. It says provide the employee with an agenda. So here it says on our agenda we should have the job goals, the goals that they're looking to meet for the company. They should obviously know what those are, and I'm sure your staff does. So they need to have that in front of them, and they need to start giving thought to, am I meeting these goals? Am I doing what I need to do? And they'll be well prepared if you give them time to do this. Minimum levels of acceptable performance. That's what this stands for. It says MLAP. Those of you who have been working with us for some time know what that is, but we are going to strongly encourage you to make sure your staff not only have goals in front of them, but also what's the minimum that they're expected to do to still have a seat in that position with the company. You know, just kind of like your kids with grades at school. You know, at what point is it worth a conversation to sit down with your kids? Is it when they come in with B's, or do you expect straight A's? Is it a C? You know, you guys will need to set those minimum levels and know where those should land with your company per position. So make sure they have those as well. And deadlines for meeting the goals that are there. So they need to have this in order to prepare.
Yeah, there you go, guys. So make sure that they understand what Doris is asking you to review with them. Make sure that they're very clear as to what the job goals are. So you might have a technician as an example, and maybe his or her job goals are flag up 48 hours a week. I'm just giving you an example. 46 to 48 hours a week is the goal. And maybe the minimum level of acceptable performance per quarter is, let's say, 40 hours a week. So he or she needs to know that going into the review what those numbers are. Now, for the purposes of clarity, if you're doing a good job as a manager, they already know where they're at with the progress here. But you got to make sure that they know these are the things you're going to be discussing. These are the goals, 46, 48 hours a week, average. Here's the MLAP, 40 hours a week, average per quarter, and the deadlines, as an example, is per quarter. So you need to provide them with this.
Deadlines for things like have they attended a certain number of training courses for the year, or you know, training for your advisors, training for your technicians. Any of those deadlines or tasks that you've given them that have a due date will be applicable here.
Yeah, well said, Doris.
And next it would say it says compliance with company policies. So, you know, have them know what those are, of course, they do, and have them give thought to, are they meeting with all the policies and procedures? And it says all past agreed to action items. So things that you've met with them on, that you've tasked them to, you know, are they making progress? Have they met the mark there? And have them come well prepared to discuss those things with you as well.
Pretty cool.
Moving forward, skill set development. So, you know, this would come down to advancing their craft. You know, if they are the technician, have they gone to the next, you know, they gotten their L1 certification? If they're your advisor, you know, have they graduated from, you know, a really well put together sales course, using that as an example. So, you know, make sure you have those clear expectations set with your people on a regular basis, and during review time, that's the time we want to see, you know, how far have they come down this road.
Yeah, pretty cool. So the plan is, what we're looking to do here is we're sort of like the game of football. We're saying, look, here are the goals. Here's what you got to do in order to stay on the team. Here are the deadlines. Here's the compliance with the things that we agreed to during our last huddle or our last talk about you on the football field. And then skill set development. Are you getting better at the things that you need to get better at? This is one of the things that we're going to be talking about at the meeting. So give them that heads up that this is what's going to be addressed during the review.
Advancement, you know, do they want to grow as a company? Is there room for growth? Can they move into a new position? Do they want to be in management? And if so, you know, what are the things that you've discussed with them that they're going to be doing to further that cause so that they can one day move into that position, right? So this would be considered advancement for any position.
Pretty cool, Doris, pretty cool.
And then lastly here, make sure that they come prepared with their recommendations. So they need to do a self-review. They need to know, what are the things that they think they can do better, what are the things that they think they're doing really well with, where is room for growth, what are the things they would like to achieve with a company. So having them lay out their goals as well is going to be a really important piece of them.
And how the company can improve.
And how the company can improve, yeah, absolutely, yeah. What can the company do to get better, in every way, shape, and form? And this is really cool, you guys. If you don't already do this, not only having them review the company, but have them review you as their manager. Sounds a little different, sounds a little odd, but I will tell you that when you do this, as managers and leaders of a company, it's really a wonderful opportunity for you to do a few things. One, to learn from the people that you spend the most time with. And if you make this a part of your culture, if you make it regular, if your people know that you really genuinely respect what they have to say, you want to learn from them, and that they won't ever feel like they would have to hold back, then this is really actually very productive. When you think about it, who does get to review you, right? And what better way for you to learn than from your people? So have them come prepared with a few things that you could do better and that the company can do to improve.
Pretty cool, huh? So this is the agenda. These are the things that you need to provide them with 10 days or so before you get together with them to do their review. And then on the next slide, we have, it's still Prepare Like a Pro. It says, here's what you need to do, prepare your guy. Now we're talking about you, not the employee. You need to make sure that you have a guy that references their job goals, the MLAPs again, and the deadline. You need to make sure that you're good to go on that. The next one says you need to have compliance with company policies. Are they doing the things that they need to do? You need to do your homework. You need to take a look and find out whether or not they've been attending courses and what they're doing to improve their skill set. And after that, Doris, we have, what do we have for the next one? Advancement. Do you see that they're advancing? If not, why not? What could be impeding their advancement from your point of view? Is there something that you need to do differently as their manager or the owner of the company? So this is what you need to put into your guide, what you're going to have in front of you. And underneath that one, Doris, we have performance report and points of praise. What this means, performance reports, you never want to go into a meeting, you never want to go into a review when you're talking about specific performance and say, I think. When you say that, you're getting in trouble, or I feel. There are times when you want to say I feel or I think. But when you're talking about specific performance, you have to come with the point of fact. You need to be able to say, this is the numbers, here's what it is. So we're talking about performance reports. You need to be able to go into that review with that technician, and you need to be able to articulate to them exactly where they landed, what billable hours, what comebacks, what compliance issues. This is what you need to be able to clearly articulate them and show them. So be prepared with that. And then it says points of praise. You need to be able to go into every review and hug the guys and gals that work with you. So things that they've done that have been really noteworthy in their job and outside of their job purview, you need to be able to comment to those. So make sure that you have good notes on that. Make sure that you're well prepared to discuss these points with them.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, you need to have notes on the action items for your last review. And literally what we're saying here, guys and gals, is you need to make sure that whatever you agreed to at the last review, you need to make sure that you're able to sit down with them and have that conversation with them about it. And you're able to say, look, this is what we agreed to at the last meeting. You're going to take this course. You're going to do this. You're going to become better at this. You're going to focus in on drivability. You're going to do this or this or this or this. And did they follow through and do what they were supposed to do?
Yeah.
So this is a guide that you'll use.
Yeah, great list. Great list. Moving on to rule number 3, it says perform the review in a professional manner. And right at the top, it says relax. So why this is here, you guys, is we want this to be a very comfortable, fluid, communicative environment for your staff as well as for you. So we don't want it to be too staunch, too formal. We want them to sort of get in the habit of the culture of your reviews, that it's just a conversation, that it's just touching base and making sure that everybody's on board with the advancement within. So, don't have it, where you're sitting, let's say, behind a counter from them. Maybe just consider sitting next to them, ordering lunch with them, having, something to drink there. I'm using those as examples. And, if you do that, and if you also, what Bob said in Rule 2, he said, look for points of praise. If you make it a habit to regularly tell your people not only the things that they need to do to improve, but where are they doing a wonderful job, and that you're so proud to have them a part of your company. If you infuse that into a more informal environment, these reviews will be looked toward, not necessarily dreaded.
Yeah. Boy, did y'all hear Doris say they won't necessarily be dreaded. And If an employee dreads a review, then that's failure on management's part.
Yeah.
That means that the manager, the owner of the company, is not communicating as they need to communicate with the employee. They're pulling him in and they're saying, you got an F on your report card. Instead of, like Doris alluded to earlier, instead of having a conversation with them when they drop to an A- or a B+. That's when you need to have a conversation with them. And you need to give them a hug at the same time that you're talking to them about the B+. So when you're doing these reviews, you need to be very relaxed. Like Doris said, you need to order lunch or a cup of coffee or soda or whatever it is. It needs to be formal enough whereas they know and you know that it's a review, but it needs to be casual enough where they know that they really are a part of your family. This is the key to your success. Don't forget, these guys and gals are a part of your family. They spend more time with you than they do with anybody else. So you need to make sure that you're recognizing that in review. So rule number 1, relax with the review.
Yeah.
Rule number 2, always ask for their thoughts. Always ask for their thoughts. Always ask for their thoughts. I don't care what it is in your mind, no matter where it's coming from, no matter how tempted you are to say what you need to do is this. You need to ask them, what are their thoughts? Well, what do you think we could do to better solve that problem? What do you think we could do to better advance your skills? What do you think could be done differently so you could have more billable hours? Always ask for their thoughts, because if you do that, then they're going to have the ownership that you need to have in that. If you tell them to do it, it's no different than children. Then it's your idea, it's not theirs. If it's their thought, it also gives you the chance to compliment them. It also gives you the chance to say, you know what, Doris, you know what, Mike, I really like the way you think. That's really a cool idea on your part, even if you already knew that in the back of your mind. I really like your idea. Give them all the credit for it. So it's cardinal rule. Always ask for their thoughts.
Yeah, that's a really great way to make them feel empowered, too. I mean, that's so cool. Now, and that's actually the next one here. It says draw out solutions that they can own. So in getting them to be the ones to give their suggestion, if it's a really good suggestion, let them have that and grab it and own it, like Bob said. And now when they go to make that move, or they go to change the way that they're doing something or add to that with the solution they gave, now they go, gosh, you know, this was mine. I owned this, and now watching the progress it's going to help me make is going to be even that much more valuable. So this is a really, really good one. Make that a habit in the way you communicate when you review, for sure.
Yeah, amen to that one, Doris. Amen.
And agree on action items and deadlines. So, you know, what are the specific tasks that they're going to be doing, and then what's a deadline for when that should be achieved by. So this is just sort of like setting those goals with a deadline attached to it. You got to have a deadline. If it doesn't have a deadline, if it's not written down, it's really not a goal. It's more like a dream or something that you just want to do. So this is going to be really key. And then when you sit down, obviously, for the next review, you'll come back to all of these.
Great point, Doris. Great point.
And allow the employee to review both the company and you, and we mentioned this. Just get into the habit of doing this every single time you sit with your staff, and allowing them to know. And you're probably going to want to give everybody in maybe a big company meeting, if you're not doing this, the reasoning behind why you want to make sure that you hear from all of your people, and because they are your single greatest asset. Your people are. And the more that you can foster this kind of a culture where you genuinely tell them, I want to learn from you, and your opinion matters to us. You are a key person to this company, and every one of you is just as important as the other. Then this is going to be a really wonderful opportunity and strong, solid relationships between management and your team, and they're just going to feel really valued. And that's the whole point to this, you guys. And learning, I mean, of course, you know, that's going to happen as well. So have them review the company as a whole, you know, any suggestions, any areas of needed improvement, anything that they think the company is doing really, really well. And then again, have them review you. And at first they'll be a little uncomfortable with that, reviewing you. They will. But just keep it going. A new hire may hold back. Oh no, I mean, you're great, and you know, there's really nothing that I see that you could do better. Well, of course, that can happen at first. Keep it up, and you actually will learn some really valuable things. This is neat. I love this.
And Doris, yeah, great recommendations, Doris. Well, what do we refer to this as at Elite with our clients?
The 50-25-25 review. So you may make a little note of that. It'd be an easy way to remember. And this just means that 50% of the time you're going to be reviewing the employee, and then the other 25% of the time they're going to be reviewing the company, and the last 25 they're going to review you. Pretty neat, right?
Really cool, huh? Really cool. Guys and gals, don't miss this one. This works like a champ for you. And then at the end, provide a detailed report. Make sure that you give your guys and gals a detailed follow-up. Don't let it just go in one ear and out the other. Provide them with something, a list that shows the actionable items, the deadlines, the agreed to items, and then you'll have something to follow up with at your next meeting as well. So these are the rules that we apply by. These are the rules that we live by the way, here at Elite. And they work really well for us, and they work really well for all of our clients who are using this as well.
Yes, absolutely. Hopefully this is a great help for all of you guys today. So the next step, apply. Right, we talked about that. So take these things, give them a go. Hopefully you're all able to make some notes and utilize them, and watch how this is just going to be a whole new way to review, and it's going to, at the end of the day, make your people feel really, really valued.
Yeah, amen to that one, Blake. Amen. And then the other thing that we're going to ask that you do is join us. Join all of us and our superstar coaches at our next Fly with the Eagles course. Now, this is a 4.5-day business development course that we do 3 times a year. The next one's going to be in San Diego, and it's going to be September 23 through 27. So if you'd like to learn more, you could go to our website, or you could talk to our business development coaches. The other thing I'd like to mention is on August 20 and 21, we're actually launching our very first managers course. This is not for service advisors. It's for guys and gals that truly are managers of auto repair businesses, guys or gals that run the entire operation in lieu of an owner. They're not the owner, but they're the manager. It's a 2-day course. It's unlike any other course. If you'd like to learn more, talk to your business development coach. We're going to have this on the website actually next week. And then Doris and I are actually doing a lot more seminars this year as well for the good friends, our good friends at Jasper Engines and Transmissions throughout the country. You can learn more about those seminars. Our service advisor sales courses and owner sales courses. They're going to be done all throughout the country during the balance of this year. You can learn more about those by either talking to your friends at Jasper, or you could go to our website, or you could talk to our business development coach as well.
Yeah, Bob, I'm excited about the manager's course.
Yeah,
I'm really excited about
too.
this one. It's been one the industry's been needing for a while, and so we're really just excited to be able to put this on for you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing course. An amazing course.
All right. So next, if you do have any questions, if you would like clarification on anything we discussed today, there's anything at all that we can do here to help you, help the industry, help your customers, et cetera, all you need to do is pick up the phone and give us a call at 1-800-204-3548.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you for spending your morning or afternoon or wherever you happen to be with us. If you're over in the UK, hi. It might be nighttime over there. But thank you for giving your time to us. Thank you for all that you guys do for the industry, and we really appreciate all of you. We value you more than you know.
Yeah, I certainly agree with Doris on all of those points. You guys really are a blessing to the entire industry. So thanks again for joining us, and we wish you the absolute best.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Bye.